On a Thursday afternoon, I found myself at Matt's place, nursing a beer while feigning interest in the game playing on the television. Suddenly my phone rang. The name on the screen read Claire. I answered with an air of nonchalance, but she wasted no time in delivering her shocking news. "I'm divorcing you. I've sold the business and am starting anew with my new partner." Her laughter wasn't one of joy. It was a mocking celebration of her victory. I responded with a calm, "Good for you," and hung up. Matt, noticing my demeanor, inquired if everything was all right. "Yeah, but I was already gone," I admitted. Claire and I had built our business from the ground up, enduring late nights, early flights, cold pitches, and the warmer lies that accompanied them. She possessed the charm while I had the patience. She spoke while I absorbed her words, she dreamed, and I constructed our reality. That was our arrangement. She thrived in the limelight, whereas I found solace in the shadows. Together we accumulated wealth and a shared life, or so I believed. Initially, I admired her ambition, captivated by the way her eyes sparkled when she discussed expansion, franchises, and legacy. Yet over time I began to notice a shift. She no longer looked at me when envisioning the future. 6 months prior, I had observed changes in her behavior. She started dressing more sharply, as if for someone else, and wore a fragrance I hadn't purchased. Her phone was always close at hand, now secured with a changed password, and laughter echoed in our home that didn't include me. Late meetings became frequent, her answers grew vague, and I noticed the exhaustion in her eyes that didn't stem from fatigue. Instead of confronting her, I chose to observe. In betrayal, emotion can be a weapon, and I had no intention of relinquishing mine. She underestimated my awareness, forgetting who I was before the suits and business class flights. I had grown up observing people lie with their expressions and plead with their eyes. In my youth, I learned that quiet men witness everything. Thus, I began meticulously collecting phone logs, GPS data, bank transactions, and photographs, standard investigative material. Subsequently, I hired an efficient, albeit inexpensive, investigator. He provided me with the footage of her and Jason Arso sharing a kiss outside a wine bar, laughing like villains in a poorly scripted movie. Their attempts at subtlety were anything but successful. 3 weeks prior to her call, I initiated my strategy. I met with our lawyers and discreetly removed my name from joint accounts, reallocating our digital assets and creating a duplicate of the business sale agreement template we had used for prior franchise deals. I established a shell company and transferred my intellectual property rights, including designs, branding, and key formulas, to it. Claire had never read the fine print. She skimmed and trusted. She unwittingly signed off on a licensing restructure designed to save on taxes. Her signature became my trap. A mere day after her call, she filed for divorce, claiming abandonment and emotional neglect, alleging I was distant. Cute. The court date was set, and she maintained a smile throughout the proceedings, appearing as though she were on a runway. New nails, a new man. Everything was new. I remained mostly silent, simply nodding. Meanwhile, I allowed her to believe she had triumphed. I ensured that Jason acquired the bait business through a dummy brokerage, one connected to my shell company. He believed he was purchasing the entire operation, yet instead, he acquired only the frosting, without the IP rights, branding, or the suppliers I had meticulously curated and bound in exclusive contracts. The business was a hollow shell. Within a week of the sale, suppliers began to withdraw, logos were flagged, and clients departed. Jason attempted to reach me, but I chose not to respond. The confrontation occurred 10 days post-divorce finalization. I returned home not to stay, but to conclude matters. Claire was in our kitchen, sipping wine as if nothing had changed. She smirked, expressing surprise at my arrival. I stepped inside, taking in the meticulously staged house, which reeked of her triumph. Her lipstick on 2 glasses, her heels by the couch, and a man's coat, Jason's, hanging nearby. I looked at her, and her smile widened, reminiscent of a child who had broken a toy and escaped unscathed, until I handed her the envelope. "What's this?" she inquired. I remained silent. She opened it, and I watched as the color drained from her face. Inside was a breakdown of the licensing deal, a comprehensive list of the intellectual property rights, none of which belonged to her, along with a termination letter from our largest supplier and a cease and desist notice for brand infringement. At the bottom, a note read, "You didn't just sell the business. You sold an empty box with my name on it. And now you can't even use that name." She looked up at me, her jaw clenched. "What did you do?" I took a measured breath. "You laughed. Remember?" At first, she was speechless, flipping through the documents as if they might change with scrutiny. Eventually, denial set in, followed by threats and desperate insults. I remained quiet, and with each passing moment, her power diminished. She was unaccustomed to silence. In a fit of rage, she stormed out, slamming the door behind her. I lingered for a moment, pouring myself a glass of her wine, which tasted bitter. Fitting indeed. 2 weeks later, Jason attempted to sue, but his efforts proved futile. The paper trail was clean and legal. He lost investors' credibility and ultimately Claire. She tried to contact me, but I blocked her. She sold her car, then the house, moving into a condo. Her vibrant smile vanished from social media, replaced by cryptic quotes and wine-stained stories. As for me, I re-established my business under a new brand. Quiet, efficient, and devoid of partners. Some individuals construct empires with armies. I prefer precision. Betrayal is a cacophony, announcing itself through broken trust and smug laughter. However, revenge whispers. It moves slowly before striking swiftly. When executed correctly, it does not scream. It concludes. Claire believed she was playing chess, unaware that the board belonged to me. Now she is just another piece toppled, swept away, and forgotten. As for me, I sleep soundly, for betrayal is an art. But revenge is a masterpiece.